Today I want to discuss side view mirrors and the importance of adjusting these properly to help you to be a safer driver. Let's begin with something I believe is often overlooked. And I'm here on the passenger side of one of these vans, and if you'll notice, our mirror has this long arm that is mounted on the side of the van, and where it also has a hinged point right here, and so that the mirror can be adjusted as such. The thing about this hinged mirror is that it can be moved and either help you or hurt you depending on how it is adjusted. Now, the key purpose of these arms is to extend it outside of the body to be able to give you a view down the side of the van as you see here. If this mirror were mounted on the fender here, of course, all you'd be able to see is the body. Now, I'm going to take the mirror and I'm going to push the arm inward and let you see the difference that it makes. Now, I have taken that arm and pushed it inward toward the van. I've not adjusted the mirror itself, so it's really facing toward the driver. The whole thing is right now. But if you'll notice how much closer the mirror is to the body of the van. To get an idea of what this looks like, if you'll notice here, I have this mirror adjusted properly, and notice how it is perpendicular to the fender. It's as positioned as far outward as it can go. Of course, if it goes inward more, then you're going to lose. If it goes outward more, you're going to lose off of this swing of this rotation. And so I have it positioned now so that it places that mirror as far out from the body as possible. Of course, again, giving you as much visibility as can be. Now, here from the driver's perspective, I have the camera eye level, and you can see the view that I have here. This is just sitting in the seat normally. This is the view that I have down the side of the van. Of course, you can see down the side of the van there. And this is with the mirror adjusted, as we spoke, with the arm as far out as it can possibly be. Now, I'm going to just take and make a slight adjustment. I'm going to pull the mirror in and do all of my adjusting up here with the mirrors. And I'm going to show you how much visibility we lose by doing so. Now, if you'll notice, I've pulled the mirror in on the arm. I have adjusted the swivel of the mirror assembly itself, and you'll see the best I can get. Notice how much of the van I'm catching now. And so there is visibility that I have lost because that arm is not adjusted out further away from the body. And so you can see how important that one aspect is by itself. The next thing I'd like to discuss is the adjustment of the upper and the lower mirror. Now, if you'll notice in my upper mirror, I have parked this van in such a way to replicate a vehicle on the outside lane behind you. And so you can see this truck in the top mirror. It'd be like someone in that outside lane. But if you'll notice in my bottom mirror, there is a little blemish in the mirror there, a white round spot. But if you'll notice the difference of the two, in one I can see the vehicle, the top one, but in the bottom mirror I cannot see the vehicle. And there is a reason for that. I'm going to explain to you why. Now, if you'll notice, what I have done is I've just backed the van up. I'm just working with the room that I have here, but I've backed the van up. So you see now my top image of this truck is a little bit different. But if you'll notice as well, the front end of this same truck is coming into view into my bottom mirror as well. And so here's the key with these two mirrors. You don't want these mirrors looking at the same angle on the road, because that will do you no good. The purpose of this dual mirror is to remove any blind spot from your side. So as the top mirror, as the vehicle is coming past the top mirror, he'll start coming into focus in the bottom mirror. eventually, as this vehicle gets closer, I won't be able to see him at all in my top mirror, but I should be able to see him good in my bottom mirror. And by the time he starts to disappear out of my bottom mirror, I should be able to easily look out of my window and the vehicle sitting there where I can see him. In other words, no blind spot. So if I have my top mirror and my bottom mirror adjusted in angle to the same place on the road, then what I have done is I have created for myself a blind spot that I don't want. And so therefore, you need to realize the importance of putting these mirrors and adjusting them in such a way so that you have two different views of the road. What I have done here is to adjust this bottom mirror in the way that I frequently find these in vans, and it's just where it's pointed with a big view of the rear. Now, of course, we can see this truck that I made mention of. We can see the truck better now in this bottom mirror, but if you'll notice, the truck looks like it is close to the back of the van, when in reality, this truck is several feet away from the rear bumper. And so even though it looks good right here, as it is approaching the side of the vehicle, it will soon disappear altogether from my bottom mirror and my top mirror both, again leaving me with a big blind spot. And so that's why you want to make sure and put this mirror where it is more to the ground, where I can catch that area, that blind spot area behind me, like what we see here. Now, if you notice, I'm looking at my passenger mirror, and we have a similar circumstance here. The top mirror, there's just a pole there, and you can see slightly on the right side of the mirror, you can slightly see this vehicle that would be on an inside lane if I were on the outside lane. But then in the bottom mirror, I have it adjusted more toward the ground, pointing at about approximately the rear bumper area. And you'll see we can easily view the front end of this car. And of course, in this van that I'm in right now, to my right on this passenger side is a huge blind spot. And so it is absolutely necessary that I have my mirrors positioned in a way where I can see what's coming up my side. As I'm looking now in my rear view mirror and as I'm looking out my side, there's no way that I can physically see that car with my eyes or with this regular rear view mirror or even out of these big side windows. The only place I really can see this car good is in this bottom mirror. And if it weren't adjusted right, I wouldn't be able to see it then as well. And so again, the importance of making sure that the top and bottom mirror are not facing the same spot on the road. Now, I've asked one of our drivers to help me with this test, and you can see her car in my upper mirror ahead. And so I have got her helping me with this, demonstrating what it looked like if somebody's passing you, and you can tell she's approaching here on my side. I can see her in my top mirror, and if you'll notice on your bottom mirror, she's just starting to approach there. So see, I have no blind spot whatsoever. And so she's going to start disappearing here, obviously on my top mirror, and then appearing on my side mirror, the small one. And now, as you can hear, she's approaching, and you can see she's right here beside the van now. And so there was zero blind spot whatsoever, simply because I've got my mirrors adjusted correctly. One last thing is, when you get in this van to start your route, whatever van you're driving, unless it's a van that you just drove yesterday, you should always have to adjust your mirrors. And so you may not have to adjust every single one side to side, but you should at least have to adjust one of them, because somebody else's seat's going to be further up or further back. Somebody's going to sit higher than you or lower than you. And so just know that this is an important adjustment to make in your van as you get in every day, is paying attention to those mirrors and it will help you to be a safer and better driver. I hope that was a help to you about your mirrors. And you may not adjust them exactly like me, but the key is to make sure as you're driving down the road that you can see the cars coming in both your top and your bottom mirrors to remove that blind spot. That's the key to the whole video, is to remove that, and so that you'll be as safe as you can be while you're on the road, especially when you got 2 or 3 lanes. You definitely need that.